Peace, you guys. Welcome to Just Us Jenkins. If you are seeing me for the first time, I'm Jamillah, stay-at-home homeschooling mama of 3 beautiful babies. I'm also a certified Reiki master, spirit whisperer, lineage healer, generational curse breaker, clairvoyant, and a bunch of other cool things, and owner of HealingMama.com. You guys, today we're back for another episode of Motherhood Realness Podcast. And I have my special mommy friend, Amanda. She's live in studio with her brand new baby girl. How old is she now?
6 weeks.
6 weeks. She's making her debut, honey. But before we get into the podcast, I just have a few little reminders over on HealingMama.com. What's up, Sierra? I have 2 specials going on. If you're a Pisces, okay, February Pisces, March Pisces. She said, the baby. You can get a reading on me. Okay, I got 8 spots left, so you better pull up, okay? And then my reading special for my Oracle readings are $22.22. And remember to tune in every Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Motherhood Realness. And then on Sundays, your girls got your Motherhood Weekly Reading Forecasts, okay? So without further ado, Amanda, introduce yourself.
I'm Amanda. I have 3 beautiful babies.
Yes.
I have a 9-year-old, a 2-year-old, and this little 6-week-old.
Yes.
She's a little tiny baby.
She's a tater tot.
She's mad at me now. She can give me.
And she is exclusively breastfed, and she don't play about her milk either.
She liked the booby milk.
She does. Is there anywhere we can find you to follow you on social media, or is your social media just personal?
I just have Facebook and it's personal, but I do have a page on there, and it's Amanda's Crafts and Creations. I do resin art. I'll be doing several different crafts I'm getting into. I'll be posting on there eventually, hoping soon. We're getting a website up so I can start reselling them. We took a year off from doing it to make this beautiful baby. We with doing resin, it can be toxic, so I didn't want to put any more risk to my pregnancy. I was already extreme high risk, so we wanted to play safe. So now that she's born, we'll be back into doing that with my business. So
yes, she makes some really cute stuff too. Like, she has such a knack for it, and she crochets, you guys. So get in your little orders. What? I'm on live stream, boo. Let me see. Okay, I'll be done in a little bit, okay? He's like, I'm out of here.
Last night I started making axolotls.
Oh, you know, these kids are obsessed with axolotls.
Me too.
And they have the audacity to be like, Mom, can we get one? And I'm like, no!
They're creepy.
They are giving extraterrestrial.
My mother-in-law has one.
Like a legit live one.
Yeah, she has 2. And these things, like, they eat tilapia. So, like, and you hold them with tweezers and put it in, and they're like the dog at sea. They go at it.
Do you completely submerge them in water?
Yeah, they're 100% water. They don't come out. They're like fish, basically. They're salamander of the sea, or of water. And they like to hide and things, but to feed them, you just, like, put tweezers in, and they, like, eat it. They will, like, you dangle it in front of them, and they'll snatch it. When I first fed it, I didn't open the tweezers fast enough. And
Hold on 1 second.
Tweezers.
Okay, you guys, sorry about that. Virtual reality is ruining my life, okay?
One has it, they don't all have it.
Yes. Jesus, take the wheel. Okay, anyway, let's get into our topic, you guys. Today we are talking about plus size pregnancy discrimination, anxiety during pregnancy, being a new mom again, okay, and loss of pregnancy. So there are a lot of plus size pregnancy misinformation. Most plus size people have perfectly healthy pregnancies, okay? Clearly. Yes, they can be a little bit more high risk, but it really just depends on your genetics, your lifestyle, your demographic, and geographic concerns, okay? Every woman, JoJo, every woman should focus on being as healthy as they can during their pregnancy, okay? All right, so, Amanda, what has been your experiences with plus size pregnancy?
So I've had 3 pregnancies. 2 out of the 3 have been plus size. I was 20 years old when I had my daughter. Out of high school, I was smaller. So after I had her, I've gained a lot of weight. So these last 2, my son that's 2 and now her, I've been plus sized. Well, especially the doctors and everything, they're very shameful. It feels like I've been to 3 at least OBs, and even the specialists are very against. I'm on this mommy group that is plus size. That's the best thing. If you're plus size going through it, they're going through it too. Because it is hard. I would say from being not plus size to plus size, discrimination is such a real thing. And I had a healthy pregnancy with our son that's 2. I had high blood pressure to the end, but I had high blood pressure with my daughter, and I wasn't plus size. So they say you're high risk for high blood pressure, preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure.
The protein spillage in the urine
is the only difference between, and that's like their main one that they're worried about. But there's so many people that aren't plus sized or have that where they're not just obese, when they're the extreme obesity that deems as a high risk pregnancy.
I was telling Amanda, I have a friend here on YouTube. She has 11 kids. Tammy. Yeah. And she is skinny mini. Like, boop. And every pregnancy, she has like the worst high blood pressure. And even like afterwards, it's like really, really bad. And kind of the same thing for me. Like when I had my daughter, and I don't consider myself plus size, okay?
Oh, honey, no.
Is that weird? Because I'm 6'2". I don't know if you guys can tell, like me sitting next to her, I'm so much bigger than regular size women.
I go to your shoulder standing up.
Yes.
Is that?
So I don't consider myself plus size. I'm just big, like I'm a giant, like literally.
You might, medically,
yes.
Medically, you're a little overweight. But you are not plus
considered, and that's the thing.
And look at her; she is amazing.
But that's the truth, because they base the medical standard off of European standard, and not like European because you're like Caucasian, from Europe, and the people there are tiny compared to Americans. They're tiny. The way we eat, the way we do stuff, the way we're built, there's just a whole difference, right? And so if you're basing this standard for Americans, of course, most people are going to be considered overweight or obese, you know. And so my daughter, my pregnancy was fine, but literally the day before I had her, I developed preeclampsia. Like, I was supposed to have her on the 13th. I went in on the 12th. I had protein in my urine. So they induced me, and then I ended up having an emergency C-section.
Know what your blood pressures were? Did they ever tell you?
They were fine, like the whole time. Just that one day I went in, it was high, and it was the protein. Like, it was just higher than regular. Yes, girl, we just big, okay? I like that stallion. But then my pregnancy with my second baby, you've seen him. My son is huge, okay? He takes up after me, and he came 2 weeks early, and they told me the whole time that I was going to have a VBAC. That's another thing we were going to talk about, too. Amanda's had 3 C-sections as well, and I didn't gain any weight when I was pregnant with him. All my weight was him. Like, and if I didn't eat at a certain time, like if I didn't eat at lunchtime, I was sick. Like, that pregnancy, okay, we could talk about that for years. And then my third pregnancy, I was a lot heavier than I was with my first 2, but the whole time I was so sick. And from the beginning of that pregnancy, my blood pressure was high. I had to take high blood pressure. Boys. Yeah, I guess.
That was for me. It's my boy.
Yeah.
I had high, but I didn't have high blood pressure till like the end.
Mm-hmm. And it's weird, and it's like you don't ever know. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if it's a hereditary thing and you have that in your family, then most likely when you're pregnant, you're gonna have high blood pressure.
Mm-hmm. And my whole family has history of high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And that was like another thing, is they test when you're what's the word, the extreme obesity, what they call it medically, I don't know, is some morbidly obese. Okay, yeah. They automatically have you do the glucose in that first couple months. They don't wait till you're like 28 weeks. They do it right away. Mm-hmm. And I passed it with my son, well, with her, but I have my dad that's diabetic. Both my 3 out of my 4 grandparents were diabetic. All my aunts, uncles, mom are either diabetic or pre-diabetic. Mm-hmm. So diabetes runs galore in my family. My brother, he's in his 30s, early 30s, and he's pre-diabetic. So diabetes. So me testing positive for gestational diabetes was kind of obvious. Like, we were kind of expecting it. A lot of the women in my family has had gestational diabetes because of the history of our family. Mm-hmm. So
it's such a stressful time when you're pregnant, period. But when you are like considered plus size, overweight, morbidly obese, you go in and they just like treat you different. Like, you can just feel it. Like, they're just like, oh, well, you a fat bitch. Well, dang, okay. Girl.
And then they always like, well, your kids are gonna be big. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your kids are gonna be big. That's another
big
one.
Baby, especially with gestational diabetes. They always rope it off. Oh, well, you have gestational diabetes. Well, that's why you had a big baby. My first is 11 pounds.
11 pounds.
She was big. I was 190 pounds. So but when I got pregnant with her, I was 150. I gained a lot of weight with her. Mm-hmm. I sat and ate. I was this track star, swimmer. I was an athlete in high school.
A dancer.
Went to doing nothing. I was pregnant. I didn't feel good. So I sat. So with doing that, I gained a lot of weight. Lost a lot of muscle. Gained a lot of weight. She came out 11 pounds.
And she's like this big, you guys.
She's an itty bitty now.
She's so
She's
little.
She's 9 years old and 60 pounds sopping wet.
If that. That girl.
And then I had gestational diabetes with her, and she was 6 pounds. She's still.
Well, she's so
Yeah,
little.
itty bitty.
Yeah.
Come here. Yeah.
Yeah, she's so little. Oh my goodness. How can we advocate better, like, for ourselves during pregnancy and delivery?
Delivery, I would say, is hard, especially when you're in labor. When you're going through that pain, you don't know what's going on.
I don't care. Just fix it.
So I would say definitely find someone that can advocate for you and know exactly what you want and how you want it before you go into labor. And find someone that can help you advocate to nurses. Because with my daughter, I didn't have that. It was just me and my mom don't stand up to no one. No one in the medical field. She thinks they know everything. They don't. I had it where I went into labor at 1 o'clock in the morning on Christmas morning. And, I'm moving you around too much. Okay. Oh. Takes you a minute to find it, huh?
The smell, the baby smell is getting me. Girl, keep it to yourself. Don't give me any ideas.
No, your daughter, all right?
I know. Every time Janess sees this baby, see, look, Mom, you want another one, huh?
But, 2 in the morning, I wasn't dilating, so they had me walk. And walk. I walked from 1:30 when we got there till 11 in the morning. 11 o'clock. So a long time. So I was already tired. And I wanted to lay down, and they wouldn't let me lay down. They wouldn't let me lay down more than 10, 15 minutes. No, you got to get up and walking. I get there on time frame, and it was Christmas. They didn't want to be there either.
Yeah, when you have your kids around holidays, because that same thing happened with Jet, my third one. They were trying to rush me. We're going to schedule your C-section this day. You've already had 2 C-sections. You don't need to be back. And because I've got somewhere I've got to be. Like, what?
And I want you on their schedule.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why with my first C-section, my emergency C-section, because I looked at my medical records. He said I had protein in my urine, but there was nowhere in my medical records that I saw it. Because I worked for the clinic, you guys.
It was the same one, right, that we had for our first?
Yes.
We had the same OB.
Yep, the same one.
Find out.
And he delivered you, didn't he?
Huh? He delivered Lila, my oldest.
But he didn't deliver you?
Oh yeah, he delivered me.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
He retired 3 months after my oldest was born. Well, he retired from private practice. I still think he's at Ogden Clinic.
I don't know.
In the labor and delivery.
I don't know.
As an OB.
But
not in private practice.
But just the rushing thing, I think it's so important when you are a plus size woman, when you're a woman in general, but a plus size woman where you clearly get discriminated, or a woman of color, because we've heard tons of horror stories about how lots of women of color die after giving birth. And so, like, if you have a husband, if you have your partner, your spouse, whomever, your mother, your sister, okay?
We call her my aunt, but she's my dad's second cousin. But she's a NICU nurse. She does the NICU home cares. She was my advocate on my other 2. She was there. She was what they call doula. If you can afford a doula, I would go that 100%. Look up doulas if you're pregnant, plus size, not. I would YouTube doulas. They give out so much information.
Mm-hmm.
I did that with my second pregnancy, and I learned so much from them.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned how to advocate for myself.
Yeah. But definitely setting nice, clear, healthy boundaries with the people or person that's going to advocate for you, you know, because it's like, right, you have a plan and you want to stick to your plan. And I know different things happen, but sometimes do they really be happening or are they just saying they're happening? Because that's what happened for me. Look, I don't trust nobody, okay? But at least the one thing that I'm super happy and thankful for is that when I came home, all my kids came home. You know, like they didn't have to stay in the NICU. I was a NICU baby. I came super early. And so I'm thankful for that. But just imagine how much better things would go if we could advocate for ourselves and have a support team that can advocate for us as well. And yeah, if you can get a doula, girl, I didn't even know you had to pay for a doula.
Oh yes, they're expensive. I was looking in just a video conference with one.
Mm-hmm.
One time, an hour long. It was like $200.
Oh. Well, I mean, it makes
because
sense.
I was so pushing for a VBAC with my son.
Mm-hmm.
I was so into it, and I knew one being plus sized, one having a VBAC in Utah is very slow. Mm-hmm. Utah is very hard, and even after 2 other states, the doctors are okay. You had 2 pregnancies, 2 C-sections. Okay, the only place in Utah is the U. It's the only place you can go for a VBAC after
really?
2 C-sections.
Mm.
No other doctor will do it here.
Huh. And you know, the thing about Amanda, she would have been a good candidate because your first 2 are what?
6 years apart.
6 years apart. So she was like
I got an age gap.
Well overhealed, you know. I can understand a little bit more with me because I literally have my kids back to back to back. But my second daughter, and also if you don't know what a VBAC is, it means a vaginal birth after cesarean delivery. Yeah. I had my kids back to back to back. Like my kids are 2.5 years apart, all of them. And that's a little more understandable. But my second doctor, he was telling me the whole time that I was going to have a VBAC. He's like, you're a good candidate for it. You know, since it was an emergency, you should be fine. And then, like I told you guys, my oldest son is super sized, honey. He came 2 weeks early and he was 8 pounds, 14 ounces. So he was like, you're going to have a 10-pound baby.
Yeah. Okay. So with gestational diabetes, you have to go to, the 20-week gestational ultrasound. You have to do that at 20 or 32 weeks, 36 weeks. You have to do it every month after your 20 week. Well, at 32 weeks, they said the ultrasound measured her at 5 pounds. And then at 36 weeks, they said she was 7 pounds. So they were estimating her being an 9 pound baby. She came out 6 pounds, 15 ounces.
Don't
14 ounces.
Don't even look.
There's
Nothing
no
close.
That's why even the ultrasounds, it's a guesstimate. They tell you it's right, it's not right. That is what they're measuring. But even the ultrasounds are not accurate at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're plus size and they're telling you're having a big baby, that's not always true.
Yeah.
They have scared so many people. Me, one of them, I was trying to push to have her a week to 2 weeks early. Because I was afraid I was going to have this 9, 10, 11 pound baby again.
Mm-hmm. Again. Can you imagine? Holy moly.
So, and on the Facebook, it's a plus size mommy group. A lot of people doctors will say, oh yeah, you're gonna have a big baby. You're having a big baby. But in reality, they've all popped out little babies.
This plus size group that you belong to, is it just designated for Utah?
Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll leave it linked in the description when we get done. I'll have Amanda send it to me.
There's several different ones, and being a part of mommy groups, that's definitely pregnancy mommy groups. When you're going through pregnancy, is great.
It's nice to have that support and people that are in your same situation, you know, because I wish I had have had more support. I wish I had have fought harder for my second, you know, pregnancy to be a VBAC. I shouldn't have given in so easily.
Did they take him early? Did you go into labor? Or did they take him because of your high blood pressure?
Jackson, my blood pressure was perfect. My pregnancy was perfect. I went into labor because I had gas and I broke my water. And it makes perfect sense because he's my gassiest child, okay? Honey, that water broke, okay? And then with Jet, my water broke as well. That was quite the experience.
So what was the reasoning for you to go in for a C-section? If your water broke with Jackson.
That's what I want to know. Like,
because if you were laboring, they should have just let you labor.
And he was just like, oh, well, we'll schedule it because he's going to be 10 pounds. He just kept saying that. I'm like, but my due date's not until 2 more weeks.
How do I say this? My stepbrother's ex-wife, they had a 10-pound baby, and she pushed him out.
Mm-hmm.
And barely ripped. Like, just a tiny bit ripped.
Mm-hmm. I believe it, because my husband's aunt, same thing. All her babies were huge. She pushed him out. She walking around fine, okay? They just be lying to people. Because they don't want to wait around. They don't want to
see why I couldn't have the 2-year-old my son
What are you talking about?
Pregnancy.
Babies.
He's laughing.
Are you serious?
We're serious.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead and say what you're saying.
I couldn't have, why they said I couldn't have a VBAC was because I had high blood pressure, and because I had 2 appointments in a row, they were going to take him back and do, it's called an unscheduled C-section. So you have emergency, non-emergency, unscheduled, and then a scheduled C-section. Those are like the 4 main C-sections. And because I wasn't dilating at all, they can't do, for VBACs, they can't do any, like, things to help. They can give you Pitocin, but that makes your contractions stronger. That can put you at risk at ripping open your scar.
Your C-section
scar. So because I wasn't having any dilation, anything, they just automatically took them. C-section. Like I was saying, they have 4 main ways of C-section. They have the non-emergent emergency C-section, which was ours first. Then they have the emergency, where they have to get that baby out within 10 minutes, like less than 10 minutes. Or the unscheduled C-section and the scheduled C-section.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's some women that's what they want. Like, for their first baby, they're like, we want a C-section. And it's like, but this is what these things was made for, you know? And they snap back. They got that snap back, okay? So why wouldn't you want to have it snap back? Now let me ask you, Amanda, did you struggle at all with body image while you were pregnant and your bump was growing?
For the most part, from people in general, most didn't say anything. They loved, but when do you not get looks while pregnant?
Oh yeah, and then the random people trying to touch you.
I didn't get that as much, I feel like, because they don't know. Well, that's, I think, a plus size being plus sized.
Yeah.
Is they don't know if you're pregnant or not, so they don't want to come up.
Oh, thank God.
Because I get that a lot of looks like, yeah, I'm pregnant. But they're like, ah.
Like, don't touch me. Now that you know, don't touch me.
But doctors is where I get the most looks. The most like, oh. Like I'm doing something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, they feel like, I think a lot is, oh, you can't take care of yourself because you're overweight. You can't take care of the baby.
Yeah, there's a lot of prejudice that comes with being plus size. And you know what's interesting, you guys? Like I told you, I worked in the medical field. Do you know how many people in the medical field are overweight? They're obese. They're morbidly obese.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any freaking sense.
Are you going to talk to?
But they genuinely do treat you differently. They really do. For me, I feel like, okay, Janess, my first pregnancy, my body, you know, was looking pregnant. Jackson, dude, I was all belly and legs. Dude, I didn't gain no weight when I was pregnant with him. Like, if anything, I lost weight when I was pregnant with Jackson because he was eating me from the inside out. That boy was hungry, okay? Jet, he was my one that I was like, when am I gonna start looking pregnant? Like, ugh. Like, even before I knew I was pregnant, and maybe that's why I gained all this weight before I, knew I was pregnant. And so I felt like the whole time I'm like, when am I gonna look pregnant? Like, when is it gonna happen? And I never felt like I looked cute and pregnant and glowy like I did with my first two, because I was just sick and nasty. Like, what?
See, I was so big with all three. I never had that, oh, I'm pregnant. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah, you do get to that part for sure.
Because
Girl.
I was so big, even with her, with how tiny she was. She can, you were there.
was so little.
But she was all front.
Yeah.
So she was,
She
big belly.
she was pushing a lot of her right here.
Yeah, it was all up too.
And I know a lot of women, I forget what it's called now that we're talking about it, but they have like the ab separation that never quite goes back. And so when you get pregnant, like everything just kind of bulges out. I forget what that's called. But there's exercises you can do, I hear, that'll make it come back together. Oh no!
Banky drop.
Let me rinse it off. We got a beaky down, y'all.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Oh,
what,
it's okay.
like, what other, like, plus size lady pregnancy tips do you have for the moms?
Oh, a big one. Don't let the weight bother you. If you're gaining weight, don't let them, because think about it. They tell regular, non-heavyweight people that they can gain around 20 to 30 pounds, but us plus size women can't gain any. Like, where is the weight that we're of a baby gonna go?
Yeah,
Because
there's that
some people
fear.
don't lose weight. I was lucky in my first trimester. Well, not so lucky because I was so sick that I lost weight because I was sick. And they don't count gaining weight. Oh no!
She said, I'm a hungry girl. Quit playing with me. We can see your head.
I'm still poking.
She wants some milk. She said, stop playing with me, girl. Listen.
to yell at it first.
She does not play about her milk. That is how all my kids were.
I don't understand because she barely gained anything. She's still so...
She's getting juicy though. She really is. Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry. There we go. Oh, nope, she got some more.
Yeah.
There we go.
You good?
Yeah. She's all covered up.
Girl. That's my bottle. Let it be free. Yeah. With Janess, I never heard that about, the pregnant, like, you can only gain this much or whatever. I didn't hear that with Jackson because, like I said, girl, I was losing weight. He ate me from the inside out. I was like emaciated. But Jet, because I told you guys before I even knew I was pregnant, I had just packed on all this freaking weight. Like, it was weird. I was like, I am fatter than usual. Like, what the hell? I hadn't been doing anything different. And, like, we were trying, but I didn't think I was going to get pregnant that fast. And so when I did go to the doctor, I went to a new OB. That's what she told me. She was like, you can't gain more than 10 to 15 pounds during this pregnancy. And I was like, huh? I'd never been told that before.
Yeah, being told you can't gain any weight to maybe 5 pounds. It's like,
how's that even
that
possible?
first time it's like, yeah, what do you expect me to do? Like, eat nothing? Do nothing?
Yeah. And if you have pregnancies like mine with Jet, I didn't gain that much weight because I was sick. Like, the whole pregnancy, like, the beginning, the first trimester, you're sick. And then the second one, you get the little bit of, I maybe got 2 weeks of relief. And then the whole 9 months, I was sick. I threw up every day for 9 months, pretty much. And so I didn't gain any weight. But if you're sick, you're going to eat what you can eat. Like, you're going to try to at least keep down what you can keep down. If you can be active, you're going to try to be active. But why, I don't know, why not have the same rules for all the ladies? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're smaller, you don't want to gain that much weight anyway, because you're going to be fat after.
Yeah, that was me with my daughters. They weren't, it's crazy because I feel like as a plus size woman, they're more worried about my weight as plus size, but when I was regular size, they never cared. But I feel like that was the start of me to be plus size, is because I gained a ton with her, and I barely lost anything.
Yeah. And it's not guaranteed that you're going to lose the baby weight, whatever size you are, right away. Everybody has to work at it. But I know no matter what body size you are, always try to strive to be the healthiest you can, eating your fresh, healthy foods and fruits and drink your water and try to be as active as you can. But it's kind of hard when you have somebody punching you in the VBAC.
Oh, and it gets worse if you have gestational diabetes. Especially being a plus size woman and gestational. It feels like you failed, even though you have no control over that. Because it has everything to do with the placenta. And it's like, I'm sorry. But like, and it's like, I see this now as looking back at it, that my doctor, when she came out, he was like, good job on your sugars. Because I was just diet based. I didn't have to do insulin. It's like, so what if she was a 9-10 pound baby? Or were you going to say the same thing? Were you going to say that, oh, you should have controlled it better?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I was doing what I said. I showed you guys everything and kept asking, hey, it was rising this time, but now it's back to normal. What do you do?
I never had gestational diabetes, thank goodness, but I had to take, with Janess, I had to take the 3-hour glucose test. I thought I was going to die. I literally thought I was going to die. That 3 hours of not eating, nothing.
Well, you have to not eat before, too.
Yeah, and eating before.
You have to...
And by the time that which I passed, obviously, but by the time that stupid 3 hours was up, they had to call the freaking little emergency group from the freaking clinic because this big ass bitch was about to fall out. And they're like, do you want a juice box? Bitch, I need a sandwich. What the fuck?
I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt so sick during that. I'm like trying to walk around, trying to like, okay, keep going.
Yes.
With how much sugar you have, and I barely felt it, just barely. I was one off from passing.
I need a check something.
Huh?
I need a check something.
Hold on one second, you guys.
It's not good still.
I swear he just, like, he does ever come in here barely. It's because the baby's in here.
Yeah, I was like, it's me.
I
should have brought Mason down to have a buddy.
Oh, yeah. Now let me ask you this. Did anybody outwardly body shame you?
Not that I could recall. A lot of, especially the ultrasound techs said stuff in kind of a roundabout way, but never go out, oh, I can't get this because you're heavy. But it's, in a way, it's like, oh, you have to come back for a second one because you're big, but you found everything. Everything's good. Well, it's because you're overweight. And it's like they're saying that there could be more, like, complications with the baby, and I've never had it. All the babies of my friends that I've known that are plus size never have any issue with the baby. That is because of you being plus. Oh, that's a good burp. Sorry.
Same. Yeah.
And I've had friends that are skinny mini that had
more problems with their babies.
and had problems with their baby.
Same.
So I just feel like they're trying to push. Oh, that's the reason why you have this problem is because you're overweight, instead of finding the deep-rooted problem.
Yeah. And that's what, because I've had a lot of friends that are like, they juicy, okay? They is juicy in all the right places. And their babies were perfect. They had perfect deliveries, vaginal deliveries.
I know, you're spit up. There you go.
And
you can't eat too much. You're gonna make
their
me
babies
feel
came
sick
home.
again.
Yeah. Their babies came home and everything. So I mean, you just never know. Did I ever get body shamed? This is the one thing that I remember hearing when I was pregnant, the 3 times I was pregnant. Your boobs didn't get very big. How come your boobs aren't getting bigger? How come your boobs aren't getting bigger? Like, why are you all in my cups? Okay, why are you all in my cups? Okay, my cups runneth over. Like, why are you worried about mine? I exclusively breastfed my kids. You know, we did supplement a little bit with formula because you can tell with this one, it gets exhausting. And even though you're pumping milk, they don't want it. Or you leave them with people that don't give it to them.
Or a husband
Yes.
that don't know how to unthaw it properly and they're afraid.
They're afraid they're going to scold the baby. You know, so there's a lot that goes into it. But I worked with a lactation consultant that came to my house with my first daughter because, honey, I was stressed. Even my neighbor helped me when I was pregnant with I mean, when I had Janess and I was nursing, because I was so stressed out because these people were talking about, well, your titties gonna get big, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't think I was producing enough, but I guess each woman, every pregnancy you have, you develop a certain amount of mammary tissue, and more women, have more mammary tissue. You could even have big breasts, but not have a lot of mammary tissue because breasts are made mostly of fat, right? So in my case, my boobs didn't get bigger until after I had my babies and like the milk started producing and coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the only thing I ever heard. I'm like,
Like,
who pays attention to that?
People that have like BCs, like smaller boobs that overproduce milk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because you might have small breasts, but you might have more mammary tissue than someone that has bigger breasts. Like there's a whole lot, you guys, that goes into this motherhood thing. Okay. What can plus size women do to take care of themselves during pregnancy? Like self-care or like fitness?
Walking.
Yes. We went on walks when you were pregnant.
Yeah. We went on a 2-hour walk.
We did.
We were chit-chatting it up.
This girl better not go into labor, okay? Her husband ain't about to be mad at me.
I think it was still too early. But
She was walking though, honey.
it's just good to get out because I know like pregnancy, especially at the end, that you're just so miserable. You don't want to leave. You're done.
Mm-hmm.
So getting out, and we just walked around the apartments.
Mm-hmm.
We were just walking around here. You don't have to go far and anywhere, and it helped. It helped my mental state. It helped me feel nice and physically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we always did. We always walked around our neighborhood, or we'd get out to the park and let the kids just run around, and we'd walk around and stuff like that. There's a lot of women, I see so many women that are like still hitting the gym hardcore. But baby girl, if you wasn't doing that before you got pregnant, wait till after. Wait till after. I don't want to, no, don't be up in here being a gym rat and you was never gym rat before you was pregnant. I'm just saying. But definitely make sure you are getting your walks in. Yoga was a good thing for me too when I was pregnant because I had a lot of sciatic pain. And we had a terrible couch my first pregnancy. And that's the only thing that saved me was stretching. And then check in with yourself because there's so much going on. And like, I feel like, I don't know, like, you've got so much going on in your mind and so much stress and anxiety, like checking in with yourself, for you, what was a lot of your stress and anxiety from being pregnant or while being pregnant?
With her, my anxiety kind of happened because of what happened 6 months before I got pregnant. We weren't having any protection. We weren't doing anything. We were actually going to go get on birth control a week before we found out I was pregnant. Mm-hmm. It was a surprise. My son wasn't even a year old yet. We're like, okay. And then something happened. Our door did not got shut all the way of our apartment when we were on the second story. And our son was just learning to walk, to crawl. He was crawling around. And somehow he got his little hands and opened the door. And he got out, and I was going after him, and I fell and tripped, I rolled my ankle, and fell on our baby gate. And we got him. He was safe, not harmed. He was banging on our neighbor's door. But we went to the hospital, and I was like, just something in me, check the baby. No, it was 8 weeks, check the baby. And they refused. At the ER, they refused
To check
to check to make sure there was a heartbeat or anything. Well, you cannot always see a heartbeat at 8 weeks, and because I didn't fall exactly on my belly, and 8 weeks it's very protective, so you're fine. Well, a week later, I started bleeding. Went into the Instacare, and they're like, well, you might not be as far along as you think. They see me more at, I was supposed to be 9-10 weeks. I was more 5-6 weeks.
That's what
Or
they
7-8 weeks.
measure?
Yeah, they measured, it was 7-8 weeks. And they're like, well, like they said, yeah, it's sometimes hard to find, especially being plus sized. Use that instead of just saying, we don't see a heartbeat. Because usually at weeks you can. But it was a lot, that pregnancy, it was a lot of, well, instead of just saying, yes, you're having a miscarriage, or yes, it's a possibility. Oh, no. It's just still too early. You might have gotten your dates wrong. That was a lie I heard. Come find out, no, I didn't. The doctor said that they were pretty sure it wasn't attached properly. And so when I did fall, or it wasn't attached all the way yet, and when I did fall, it detached from my uterus, so I miscarried.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And so during the pregnancy with her, I had really bad anxiety of, okay, getting past 6 weeks, it's still here. 8 weeks, thinking, okay, when I see her on ultrasound, I'll be okay. Well, I was 8 weeks, and I was just on my bed reading a book, got up to go to the bathroom, and there's blood. And I started screaming. I was like, not this again, not again. We go in, and we do an ultrasound. You see the little baby, and there's a heartbeat. Such a strong heartbeat. Just a little bean. And then I was like, okay, see the baby. It's going to be fine. It wasn't. Go to my first doctor's appointment, coming to find out I wasn't 8 weeks. I was only 6 weeks. And they saw her at 6 weeks with the strongest heartbeat.
Aww.
And they say they never see heartbeats at 6 weeks.
6 weeks. Wow.
So, I think that was their way of, okay, she's good. You need to calm down. But it was hard. Going through the whole pregnancy, thinking you're going to miscarry, it turned into you're going to have a stillborn, to now, even now, she's going to die at 6. It's, if I would say, because I always had in my head, after a miscarriage, I just need to get pregnant again. It will all go away if I get pregnant. It don't. Talk about it, go to therapy, really get over that miscarriage before you have another one. And even then, the anxiety's still there.
Yeah.
And I suffer from anxiety anyways. So anxiety's hard.
It is. And I feel like as a woman, anxiety is so normal, but as a pregnant woman,
And as a mom,
it's like, it's magnified like 3,000,000%, because I remember still just all night putting my finger. Are they breathing?
The hand over there. You see it at Raz.
Or like poking them and hoping that they don't wake up. You're like, oh, they squirm, they're fine.
I'll clap my hands in the other room and see her go. I know that's bad.
And I did that for
Unless
all
someone will
three.
yell down the hallway and all you will look over her. Oh yeah,
She's fine. She's fine. And even now, 10, 7, 4, I be checking them all night. Every time I gotta go pee, I'm like, oh, they're fine.
Or like when you send them out to play
Mm-hmm.
and they haven't checked up on you for 2-3 hours, you're like, hey, where's my child?
Yes.
Are they good? Did they fall down the
Are you alive? Can anyone hear me?
You know my oldest.
Yes.
She's a wild child. She'll be flinging herself off the playground. Were you there? They were playing tag, and she was about to get tagged, and she literally flinged herself off the playground. And faked everyone thinking she got hurt. She gets up and runs off, and it's like, wait, child, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I did it on purpose. You threw yourself.
So you didn't get tagged?
Oh, just so you can fake them.
Oh my gosh. I can't with these kids. They are ruthless at these games, honey. Okay? But I know it could never be easy to ever lose a child in any capacity. You know? So that's hard. And for them to kind of just like push it under the rug and kind of make it seem like it was your fault because of your body, that's crazy.
And a lot of it, they put it into my record. I lost because of morbidly obese. They didn't look at the road. They didn't see. They put it in the chart. Morbidly obese, even though that's what he thinks happened is it got detached when I fell, but there's no proven. But there's proven that I'm obese. So in the chart, it's pregnancy loss because of obese. So my weight done it. Because even though 1 in 4 women have a miscarriage in the first trimester.
That's a lot.
And not a lot, or not all of them are obese.
Right.
A lot of them are all different weights. Yeah, 1 in 4.
That's a lot of women when you think about it.
And a lot have multiple. There's this lady that I follow, and she had 7 miscarriages in a row, and now finally has one. I don't know if she's given birth yet, but she finally made it to viable. 25 weeks viable.
Oh, wow.
So I know she made at least that far. But 7 miscarriages.
Well, I just say thank you for sharing that with us, and hopefully by Amanda sharing her pregnancy loss, you know, you guys, if you know anybody that's experienced or you're experiencing it yourself, advocate for yourself and speak up, because baby, I cannot believe that they just were like, go home, basically.
Yeah, and a lot are until there's nothing they can do, and they're just like, okay, go pass it at home. And if you don't pass it in this much time, come back for a D&C. I am one of the lucky ones that didn't have to get a D&C, because that would be hard. The women that have had D&Cs, I've known that has had the hardest time, because it's basically an abortion.
Yeah.
So it is hard, especially right now with everything.
Right.
That I'm glad. Because it was first when it came out that I passed it on my own. There was no complications in that. But yeah, I had a friend that had 2 miscarriages in a row and then had her twins.
Oh, wow.
But, I was going to say, if you do have a miscarriage or a child loss, don't keep it in. There's groups, there's places that have support groups and different ways to celebrate and to talk about your pregnancy loss. Here in Utah, in the northern Utah, there's several, but the one my friend told me and taught me about, it's a Utah Share, and they do a walk in October down at the Layton Duck Park, and they do a balloon release. You get balloons and you walk around the park, and they go in and they read the names, and if you don't have a name picked out, we didn't know the gender, so we just put Angel Baby Wood, and they'll read the name and release the balloons. And my friend that she had a baby day of SIDS at 6 months. And we went my first time, and I miscarried 4 days before the balloon release. And she's like, you should come. I know it's soon, but you should come. And I think that helps me more than anything. That was my way to say goodbye. I got to release them up, and that was me saying goodbye.
How else do you deal kind of with your loss? Do you journal or anything, or?
No, I don't like to write. I'm not a good speller, and I'm criticized myself because I don't know it yet.
Yeah.
Talking to the kids. My son don't know a lot, but Lila was there. She remembers. So we talked to her, and we talk about it. And I talk to them. I don't know if they're there or not. I don't know. But I will talk and, think about, oh yeah, you'll be this. And this is what's going on in our life. And, aw, you wanted the blanket?
You don't get it. You're a dog baby. You're not a baby. You can't have her blankie.
You're not home, baby.
Yeah. And I feel like any type of thing you've gone through, motherhood wise, always try to find you a nice little support group. I guess, that is one good reason like social media comes in, because sometimes you can't always get it with your family, and sometimes you have to get it with people who have gone through it and are willing to experience. Because I've heard stories from some of my friends that their families or moms or aunts or something have experienced miscarriage, and they don't want to talk about it.
I don't think one of my aunts had a miscarriage, but she had one like a couple days after she found out, like the next day or something. So it was very quick. It wasn't already set that she saw and everything. So she had it different, but other than that, none that I know of especially immediate family, has had a miscarriage. So no one knew what to say or how to help or what to talk about.
Yeah, and when transition happens, when death happens, like nobody ever says the right stuff, No.
I don't want to throw her on the bus, but I love you, Mom. When I was pregnant with her, the bleeding when we went to the hospital, I had a subtima hematoma. So there was a blood clot between the uterus and the placenta, or in their wall. So, and that actually is more common.
I've heard of it, yeah.
And it was making its way out. Well, it can lead to miscarriage. It can go just right and take the whole pregnancy with it when it's trying to pass. Luckily that didn't happen, but they did warn us. So when I told my mom, hey, look, this is what's going on in my life, we do have a chance of miscarrying again. And she said, if you miscarry, then that might be a sign that you shouldn't have any more kids and tie your tubes. Well, we know that's not true, because there's people out there that has had a lot of miscarriages to go on and have healthy pregnancies. But hearing that then was very traumatizing. It was very hard to hear.
From your mom.
She don't always know what to say.
Yeah.
How to say it. It comes across
Girl.
bad, and they don't mean it that way.
Yes. And me being with my clairvoyant skills, okay, when people express those kind of things to me, like, I know they're thinking because they're grieving, but it's like the little spirits, they always come back when it's time for them. Sometimes they have other things that they have to go do real quick, which to us feels like an eternity, but they always come back.
My Kelly, my mother-in-law, thinks that it was her.
You see how she put her head up? Yep.
She is such a strong back.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister-in-law, well, ex-sister-in-law now, was pregnant the exact same time. Our due dates were the exact same day.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And we think that there was a reason. Because she was a little cray-cray. Story to tell you after. But she's a little interesting. So it would be a lot of competing, a lot of issues if we both had them around the same time. So it is good to have my own spotlight with my baby, the family.
Yes.
But she is the first besides my daughter. So I had my daughter, just me and her. Her dad is a sperm donor, basically. He's not in the picture. He hasn't been in her life since birth. So never. And she's seen him maybe 10 times in her life. So it was me and her for 6 years. And then I met my amazing husband. And now we have our 2 beautiful babies. But she is the first grand girl in the family. She's the first girl baby. Because she was 6 years when she came in. So my mother-in-law says, she says, she's not my first granddaughter, but she's my first grandbaby. Girl baby. So, because she loves both my daughters. Well, my daughter's with her now. They're buddies. She's always over there.
Yeah. And it's nice to have those beautiful relationships, especially with everything happening so closely for you guys. Like, whoa.
We got married. It'll be 3 years in April. My son will be 3 in September. And then she just... So, yeah, everything happened so quick. We went boom, boom, boom.
Boom, boom, boom.
And
I
we
watch
moved.
it in my room. That's a throwback. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Amanda, what, like, plus size pregnancy hygiene tips do we have? Because when I was researching this, because y'all know I'm a researcher, that's a thing that was coming up in the plus size community.
You're so sweaty.
Okay, she's like, I'm warm, I'm cozy. I always loved a sweaty baby. I ain't even gonna lie. They don't like it, but I do. I just, the way they smell. But when I was doing my research, that's what it came up as. Like, I guess a lot of women would experience like more hygiene issues being plus size, but baby girl, things be changing though. But what do you have any tips, tricks? I mean, what you got, girl?
I don't know. It's hard being plus size anyways. You sweat more. Find a deodorant. Don't just go off of the basic. Go grab a bunch. Try what works for you. Because what works for me won't work for her, and what works for her won't work for me.
And we were both pregnant in the summer, honey. It's hot.
It's hot. Cool yourself. Showers. Go rinse off.
Go swimming with the baby.
We were in the pool like at least once a week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Go swimming with the babies.
Yes, no. She wants a bit.
And I noticed. Hold on, you guys. Let me close my door really quick.
They keep open.
I know they're coming in the house. You didn't wear no shoes. Lord have mercy. He's cheering. Okay, I noticed. What was I gonna say? You guys brain fart.
Hygiene.
Oh, the problem that I always had when I was pregnant, I was telling her this. One armpit didn't smell like nothing, but the other one was like a soccer team, okay? So I had to really like Um, yep, he's inside now, Daddy. He went with the girls next door. But I had to really focus on that. That was one thing I noticed that drove me crazy. Like when my hormones changed, my body did weird things.
She got my hand. She's not
Oh.
letting go.
And like my hair, like one leg was hairier than the other one armpit was hairier than the other one. Just some weird stuff. But I guess
You took it out.
we say all this to say, don't feel self-conscious. Like whatever body size you are, your body's going through such a crazy time growing these humans, okay? So just embrace it. Embrace the ever-growing, changing, roly, flowy, hairy, stinky body.
What are you talking about again?
Pregnancy.
Still.
Still, because we're moms, and moms get pregnant. Anyway, Amanda, do you have anything else you want to add?
If
She is getting big, huh?
no.
She is really big like me.
Don't let yourself go with pregnancy. If you don't let what people say or different things discourage you, just you be you.
Mm-hmm. And enjoy it because, you know, we live in a world where not all women are able to have babies or carry their babies full term, or like we, you know, shared, have loss and everything. So just embrace it no matter what size you are and enjoy it because it's only a short amount of time. It's only a short amount of time. And love your growing, changing body. Hi, Heather. Peace, peace. That's my friend Heather. She's a cat mom and a plant mom. She can bring some plants. She raising them like Lazarus, okay? But embrace yourself. Advocate for yourself no matter what. No matter what body size you are, body type, body shape, try to be the healthiest you can. You know, drink yourself more water, eat yourself healthy, fresh, living food. Even if you're not pregnant, honey, we need to be doing that anyway. Okay. And just enjoy the ride, huh? Huh. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, and I think it's pretty normal to have worries, doubts, and concerns when you're pregnant because there's so much going on in your head, and baby, the hormones don't help either. Them hormones will make you delusional, okay? Wow, she's beautiful. Congratulations, mama.
Thank you.
And yeah, get yourself a good support team. You know, get your spouse on board. Like Amanda said, if you can afford a doula, honey, get you a doula. Get your family on board. Have your plan. Stick to it as best you can because I know, like, life does throw you curveballs. Sometimes you get preeclampsia. Sometimes you got to have your emergency C-section.
Or you have an 11-pound baby.
Or you have an 11-pound baby.
They reached in, they filled her head, and they're like, yeah, you're not having her normal. Her head was too big for my pelvic. So they're like, nope.
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, I need your water.
You need some water?
Mm.
Here you go.
Celia give me spicy things.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, spicy crackers.
Spicy crackers. Oh my gosh, you guys. Well, I would have loved for this to be longer, you guys, but the churn is churning. Thank you. And, you know, babies are babying. Huh. I appreciate you guys being here today. Yeah.
Dummy up.
Yeah.
She wants to dummy up.
She wants to thumb you up? Oh, she wants to
Her
knuckle
knuckles?
you? Her knuckles are little, huh?
So tiny.
He's so cute. Hi. Hi. She almost has me like this, like, but this is my reminder right here. No more kids. What did Miss Heather say? Miss Heather's on here, Jet. Oh shoot. What? What happened?
I don't know.
I can't see it. What had happened? Oh, Heather. I'm gonna text you, girl. All right, you guys. So once again, I'd like to thank Miss Amanda for being here with us and bringing her
Yeah.
baby.
Thank you for having me on.
Yes,
Anytime.
and sharing your beautiful story with us. And we're gonna talk some more about it because I think this is like a topic like more moms can relate to. Yes, these are topics that more moms can relate to. But you guys, we're gonna see you next Monday. Not next Monday, today's Friday. Bruh. I'm so tired, y'all. We're gonna see you next Friday, 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Okay. I'm gonna have my beautiful cousin on here with us. Okay, if you're new, we'd love to have you, so stick around, subscribe, email so you get all of our notifications. And if you are one of our oldie but goodies, hey fam, hey. Look, she's tired of us. You see her yawning over here? We're boring? Huh? We're boring? All right, you guys, have a good night. See you on Sunday, too.